we are about to do the fun, sweet stuff for, as you know, remember, this is the 3-tiered tray for the high tea, and the sweet stuff goes on the top. So we're gonna start by making one of my favorite, finger delicacies that's sweet, and it doesn't have a fancy name. It literally is peanut butter butterscotch marshmallow squares. But you know what? You add butter in, and that's all the ingredients you get. So we're going to start with melting 1 full stick of butter in the pan, and then we're going to add, actually let me go ahead and turn that on. Then we're going to add this is an 11-ounce bag of butterscotch chips. I've done it a bunch of different ways. You have to do the butterscotch. That's not optional. But I've done it where I've added a little bit of chocolate chips as well, just to give it a chocolate flavor. But truth be told, this is a butterscotch peanut butter recipe. Okay, so the whole bag of butterscotch chips goes in there, and they start the melty process. Oh, look, 2 didn't make it. Oh, yum. Okay. Then I just bought the cheap, crunchy peanut butter, simply because it does call for a lot of peanut butter, but I am, and normally most people use creamy peanut butter for this particular recipe, so it's nice and smooth. But I will say, I love the crunchy because it gives the treat a little bit of texture. So instead of it all feeling kind of the same mushy, it's not mushy, but it's very smooth. The creamy, or the textured of the crunchy, gives it a whole different flavor or texture taste. So honestly, I would do about 3/4 of the jar. I don't exactly know how many cups that is. So let's see if we can figure that out. Okay, there's 1. Not even 1. Okay, there's 2. Big, huge spoonfuls. All right, so that's a cup, and we're about halfway through the jar. So yeah, about 3/4 of the jar. And of course, this is just the regular 18-ounce jar of peanut butter. So we will, and this is a recipe that you can go up or down with, meaning you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger just by doubling or cutting back, which is really easy. All right, all that in there, and then you want to kind of keep a little bit of an eye on this, simply because it's all fat stuff. It's the butter, it's the peanut butter, and the butterscotch chips. So lots of oils, lots of fat. So you're gonna find some hot spots. Once this is kind of melted, I'll bring it a little closer to the camera so that you can see it's really melted and smooth, and that's what you're aiming for. But at the same time, then you have to let it cool just a little bit on the, oh, there we go. Literally, that fast. We're done. Okay. So let me see if I can show you that. See how runny that is? Okay. You can see the chunks of the peanut butter, but everything else is melted. Okay. But, okay. I'm going to turn off the stove and let it sit there and cool a little bit, because here is Baker's Mistake 101. We're going to add a whole bag of mini marshmallows. Now, the original recipe really calls for colored marshmallows, because then you've got the little pops of pink and yellow and green. I don't have that in my pantry at the moment. I have white, so we're going with the white ones. Now, I've made this in the past sometimes, and I have failed to let this cool down. So, you know what happens when marshmallows hit heat? And they melt. And so it didn't work out really well for me, because I just had melty marshmallows through the whole peanut butter butterscotch mixture. So it really is important to let it cool down a bit. So while this is cooling, I want to get the pan prepped for you. This is literally, whatever this is, 9 by 9, 8 by 8, whatever it is, I don't care. It is, I never used to use parchment paper, and it's only probably been in the last, I don't know, 2 years that I've started to use parchment paper, and I must admit, I love it because it makes the cleaning easier. And honestly, at this point, what I'll do is I'll go in here and actually run my fingers around the edges to kind of get it formed, but then I'll come in here and I'll fold it so it's nice and crisp. So when I put this back in and then I put the mixture in there, it will just be so much easier just to pull right out like this, lay it on the counter, and then I'm able to cut it into squares versus literally digging it out of a metal pan, because even if you spray it, it's still going to stick no matter what you do. But with the parchment, so even if you're a non-parchment user like I was for years, just go ahead, break down, buy yourself, go to the dollar store, because you can get just small rolls of parchment paper and start using that in some of what you're doing on cookie sheets, baking. It just makes it so much easier. So again, I would encourage you to buy the parchment paper, make that happen. All right, so we might need to take a small break because I think it's going to take a little bit longer for the stuff to cool down. So we're gonna leave you there, and when we come back, we will stick the marshmallows in and then put that in the fridge. So we'll come right back to you.